This room contains more than £1.5 million worth of whiskey, aged collectively for in excess of 2,700 years. 11 of these whiskies are the oldest ever released by the distilleries, and every single one is unique. These one-of-a-kind objects are being sold at auction, with all proceeds from the hammer price going to charity. Every time the gavel comes down, lives will be transformed. This is Distillers One of One 2025. Following the outstanding performance of Distillers One of One in 2021 and 2023, this year's auction features 39 incredible lots, each representing the pinnacle of whiskey making, maturation, and creative design. Distillers One of One gives Scotland's whiskey makers the opportunity to bring the creativity, passion, and attention to detail that they draw on every day while making whiskey to craft lots the likes of which have never been seen, and never will be seen again. The 2025 auction includes whiskies from some of Scotland's oldest distilleries, and some of the newest. There are miniatures, multi-bottle collections, magnums, and even larger vessels. But whether large or small, old or young, all of them have only been made possible through thousands of hours of work, years of planning, and the dedication of hundreds of people across Scotland who live and breathe whiskey every day.
The beginning of Distillers One of One began in 2013 when we as a livery started the idea that we could raise more funds for our charity by auctioning rare bottles, and we did that internally in 2013 and 2018, and we raised £415,000+, which was extraordinary at the time. That was really the beginning of creating Scotch whisky charity auctions.
In 2019, Jonathan Driver, who's the chairman of the Distillers, came to me and asked, do I think it's possible to get every brand in the whiskey industry to give their oldest, rarest whiskies, package it in the most extravagant way possible, and give that away for charity?
Sotheby's said yes, and it's a good idea, and so we began to plan it. Now, what we could have no idea was that within 6 months of that conversation, the whole world would simply shut down, and we would be in the midst of lockdown. Everybody had a really good reason not to do this, and everybody joined in.
At the time, it seemed like a pipe dream, but here we are 6 years later, having raised £4.3 million for charity.
The inaugural auction in 2021 was not in and of itself new. We had done auctions before, but what set it apart was the concept, the one of one, where each auction lot was destined to be unique, unrepeatable, never to be seen again. We are delighted to be partnering with Sotheby's once again for the third Distillers One of One auction here at Hopetoun House. Going into a third auction is always a bit nerve-wracking, but we have a stellar lineup of lots. Each distillery has really outdone themselves. Each distillery has captured their own identity, their own DNA, and their own answer to the brief, what is a one of one, so we could not be more excited.
As always with Distillers One of One, you want to create a lot of noise. You want to create something extremely dramatic and bold. The Laphroaig Capsule, 40 years old, is exactly that. This is two vintages, 1980 and 1981, coming together. It's presented in this unbelievable decanter. The capsule is a way for us to tell the story of time, and also to share a little bit of insight into what was going on at the distillery in the early 80s, because the distillery was starting to wind down before it would rebuild its still house, and these vintages come just before that significant event. The flavour profile is unbelievable, lots and lots and layers of fruit, figs, tropical fruits, orchard fruits, but right at the backbone there is that Isle of Smoke, which is absolutely sensational. When it goes into a collection, goes into a whiskey lover's home, I cannot wait to see it there, I cannot wait to go there, hopefully be there when the bottle is opened for the very, very first time. Because that's the idea about this capsule. Opening that cork, letting that smoke drift out of that bottle, that's why we make whiskey.
Port Ellen Prism is a natural cask strength 46-year-old distilled in 1978. It originally started its life in a refill hogshead before being transferred into a puncheon. It has a rich peat reek odour, fantastic red currant and berry flavours, And this extra long maturation for this distillery is a fantastic thing to see, being its oldest ever expression. The Port Ellen sculpture is a complex, multi-part artwork by German artist Wilfried Grutens. The sculpture is made up of painted sheets of glass, which are bonded together to optical precision. It forms a three-dimensional image that shifts as you move around it, encapsulating the decanter in strands of smoke. This is the most exciting Port Ellen release I have ever seen. It's a one of one, it's rare, it's collectible, and it's a beautiful lot in the Distillers charity.
Our lot this year is Ladyburn from 1966, a 58-year-old bottling. And this year, we went to the family of Sam Shaw, who's an incredibly famous Hollywood photographer, and his family allowed us to use a very unique photograph that he took of Marilyn Monroe. They were great friends. So suddenly this project, which is basically developing a label for a bottle, becomes a conversation, a story. Ladyburn feels to me the epitome of what a really old whiskey should be. That black currant, that waxiness, that polish, as if you're in a cathedral that's been polished for hundreds of years, where aromas like leather and dark chocolate become tastes that are deep and just expansive and lengthy. And so Ladyburn for me is really the essence of those older whiskies that from distilleries that sadly no longer exist. And so that's just one last taste of that time.
Our mission at Distillers Charity is to transform the lives of young people, especially those from the most disadvantaged backgrounds. So this is a collective effort by so many people, an effort by our 5 main charity partners working with the young people, an effort of the entire industry, the Scotch whisky industry, coming together to produce the amazing lots for the auction, for the buyers, for their generosity to come to the auction, to acquire the lots, and to help us raise the funds that unlock the work we can do and the impact we can make with young people.
This year, we're delighted to have not one but 2 amazing lots. First up is Aberlour. It's a 53-year-old whiskey from the Aberlour distillery. And our second lot is from the Glenlivet distillery, and that is the Magnum size SPIRA decanter. It is a 60-year-old single malt whiskey, first laid to cask on the 1st of October 1965, and has been patiently waiting for 6 decades to be filled for this very special auction. The decanter itself has been a long work in progress to create that harmony that reflects the kind of balance that's required in the distillation of an amazing whiskey. When it comes to scarce whiskey, you have limited releases and then you have true one-of-ones, and that's what makes the Distillers One of One auction so special. I am confident that whoever ends up winning these lots will be the envy of any collector.
Our lot is the Glendronach Arias In Time. It is a collection of 4 unique whiskies from 4 different decades, matured in the most richly sherried casks. These magnificent bottles of the Glendronach sit on a phenomenal bronze sculpture that has been uniquely created by Ossana Visconti in Milan. These 4 special whiskies are all bottled at natural cask strength with the ultimate character straight from the cask. And the lucky person who gets this range will be able to appreciate the concert of time from the Glendronach like no one else has ever done.
We've created a very special lot this year. It's our 130th anniversary, so we've got 3 bottles from our 3 brands that add up in age to 130 years old. Within the lot, we have a whisky from Gordon MacPhail, which is a 75-year-old from the Glen Grant Distillery, filled by my grandfather in 1950. We have a lot from Benromach from 1972, a 52-year-old. So what's wonderful and really quite interesting about this is the role reversal. As Glen Grant has matured and changed through time, it now is a very beautiful, clean, unpeated spirit. Whereas at Benromach, we've gone back to add in that lost smoke of Speyside to give us that point of differential. The third whisky is from our new distillery. It's a very forward-looking distillery and it's the Cairn. So somebody is going to own the very first ever bottle from this incredible distillery. All three whiskies together, that comparison of spirit, cask and time. So for a collector out there, being able to compare and contrast these particular whiskies will be a wonderful thing.
Potential is spread evenly across society, but opportunity is not. It is very special that the Scotch whisky industry is using some of Scotland's most valuable assets to address the inequalities that many of the young people are facing that are supported through the Youth Action Fund.
So the Youth Action Fund was established to engage with young people, particularly those from disadvantaged backgrounds, and to start a journey with each one of them individually, a journey where we build trust with them, then we help them acquire soft skills, and then to progress and develop towards employability.
Our charity partners are Aberdeen Foyer, Action for Children, Enable, Fair Scotland, Street League and the Talk About Trust. Every time the hammer comes down, lives are being changed, not just for individuals, but for their families and communities, which can break generational cycles of poverty and make a significant difference to society as a whole.
The Glen Grant Eternal is our contribution to this year's auction. It's the oldest whisky which we've ever brought to the market. It's also the oldest whisky here at the auction. Having tasted the whisky, it's quite remarkable to think the journey that it's come on since 1948. It sat there in one sherry butt, sleeping in a stone warehouse for 77 years. And yet when we taste this whisky, it's still so Glen Grant. There's such a huge amount of craftsmanship has gone into not only the making of the liquid, but also the making of the decanter. It's the brainchild of Alexi Burgess with the collaboration of Brodie Nairn at Glasstorm. They've brought this beautiful decanter to us, and then we've managed to fill it with some phenomenal Speyside whisky. On the top of the stopper and also at the bottom of the decanter, there is the green malachite, which originates from the copper. So we've got an ode back there to the distillation process, and then on top of this, we've got the Himalayan blue poppy, which is the symbol of Glen Grant. The DNA is there, the fruits are there, the key flavours are there, and whoever purchases it, should they choose to taste it, are in for a real treat.
Kandoblanc is a cultural maison at the intersection of art, culture and rare whiskey. Our 2025 creation is Dragon in Clouds. It is a one-of-a-kind object uniting heritage art forms from Japan and Italy. And the center of this creation is a 60-year-old single malt whiskey from Speyside. What I love about the whiskey that I have selected for Dragon in Clouds is this unique patina that you have in the whiskey. It is complex, layered with honey, waxiness, cedarwood, vetiver, and also tropical fruit characters. Starting with the upper contours of the vessel, we have urushi lacquered surface in archival grade ceramic, fused together with Murano glass that was created by the legendary Murano studio. The unique thing about this object is that the lacquer will slowly rub and remove and display a dragon that is unseen right now. Only the owner or the patron of this object will be able to experience the full dragon in its full glory in years to come.
This is the absolute pinnacle of whisky making creativity in Scotland. All of these distillers have come together to offer up their rarest liquids that are going to entice collectors and connoisseurs from all over the world. There is truly nothing like this anywhere else.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I ask you to take your seats and we'll start with the auction in just a minute. I'm starting the bidding here. 200,000, 350, can I say 400 against it? At 400,000.
What an extraordinary day. 39 lots auctioned for charity, each one of them a treasure, a unique piece, something that will never be repeated. We could not be more thrilled and we could not be more grateful.
With the proceeds, we can maintain the significant momentum that has been built and continue to change lives.
At the heart of what we do is a truth about the whisky industry, about those that distill, those that blend, those that run the companies. These people care. I'm just so impressed and so proud of an industry that can hunker down almost in totality and go, we're going to do something quite extraordinary because it's the right thing to do. This is not a celebration of the past. This is a recognition of what the industry is capable of today. The most extraordinary Scotch whiskies that the world's ever seen.
I want to offer here a personal thanks on behalf of myself and all the trustees of Distillers Charity for everybody who's come together to make a success of the One of One auction and to unlock the potential of transforming lives of so many young people in Scotland. Thank you.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the film. Please leave us a comment and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel.